So how you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is DJ Jamel, aka Fanatic Philly fan. Um, I don't know if you guys watch Philly 500 or Burger Sports, but they inspired me to do this. Um, I'm literally doing this on my phone right now. It's my first YouTube video ever. As you can see, I'm an Eagles fan. So mostly I'll be talking about the Eagles. I'm from California, but I love the Eagles. But I also go back and forth between Colorado and California. So um, I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about myself. First video ever, Philly 500 shout out, Sports Gang shout out, and hopefully I get a shout out from you guys. Um, I am not gonna try to ramble too much because I can't, do too many cuts and whatnot on this thing. But I just want to pretty much tell you what I lack in visual effects until I actually get a computer and some friends that is, promised to help me once I get a computer will help me with that. Uh, but until then, I'm doing this in my living room. Shout out to the little man trying to make, something bigger than himself and doing something that he loves. I don't do this for money or for fame or anything like that, but I do want subscribers. So if you like my channel, you like Philly 500 and you like Bird Gang Sports, hopefully you'll like me too. And what I lack in visual effects, I will give in real content. I'm a hard Eagles fan, diehard Eagles fan. I know this team. I watch every draft, every game. Even if I miss a game for work, I always rewatch it on my phone. So I'm a diehard Eagles fan. And even if you're not an Eagles fan, I welcome you to this channel. I talk about a lot of stuff. I love Marvel. And I don't know if you guys know about Death Battle, but uh, I love talking about Marvel and battles, not just football. I cover a lot of stuff, or I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. I used to have another channel, but I lost. Long story short, I lost that channel, so I'm starting a new one. And this is my first YouTube channel, doing it by myself because I had help before, and I was doing it off a computer. Never really did it off of a phone before. So, and I had help when I was doing it off a computer before. So with software. So pretty much I was just going to talk to you guys today about what I think our schedule is going to be up into the bye week. Um, I really think that we have a better, team this year than we had our Super Bowl year when Carson Wentz got injured and would have been MVP in 2017. I really believe that. I know a lot of people find it hard to believe because we had so many people injured, but we had a lot of people injured last year too. And you saw all the people who stepped up. I mean, you saw people like LeBlanc and people like Rasul Douglas and, just a lot of people in our secondary, step up. And I'm really encouraged. Sidney Jones, I think if he gets some adequate playing time, he'll be something still special too. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I really think that a lot of teams are underrating us. I was watching, I watch a lot of ESPN and First Take and Undisputed and Good Morning America Football, and they're saying that at least Nate Burleson was saying that the Dallas Cowboys had a better offseason. I mean, I know they signed Amari Cooper and whatnot, but we signed our quarterback, and they're always like, oh, he's injury prone or whatever. But when he's healthy, I feel like he outperforms Dak. He threw for 34 touchdowns with less than 15 interceptions. Once Dak does something like that and he has 30 touchdowns in a season, then I'll say, I mean, that's elite to have 30 touchdowns in a season and 2-to-1 interception ratio. Dak has never done that, and we've seen Dak without a running game. We didn't have any running game, and he's had Ezekiel Elliott all but 6 games, and we saw in those 6 games without him, he'd go 3-3 and throw twice as many interceptions as touchdowns. So everyone needs a running game, but I just hate how because he got Amari Cooper and it took teams a few games to figure him out, how they're all of a sudden just, everyone just thinks Dallas is just. I mean, look at our offseason, man. I mean, we signed Malik Jackson. Yeah, we lost Bennett Howard, we lost Bennett, but we got Jordan Howard in the running game, which was a major weakness for us. And we also got a big upgrade, in my opinion, in our deep threat game with Deshaun Jackson. We got Malik Jackson to replace Michael Bennett. And, and I feel like, yeah, Chris Long retired, but, we'll have Derek Barnett back this year. We signed, that linebacker from Thompson. We signed Thompson, the linebacker from the Redskins. And they had him like a top 7 or something linebacker in on something I was watching on ESPN. They had him ranked pretty high praise. And I went and watched some film on him, and he has some ball hawking skills. At least last year, I guess it used to be a weakness of his, but last year, man, he had some ball hawking skills, man. Um, and I watched a couple games where he caused a little bit of havoc for us. So I'm just gonna start this video with the with all the scores of the games until the bye week. I'm not gonna do. I don't feel like my first video should be very long. You know, I want to keep it under 10 minutes. I don't feel it should be very long. I don't want to lose people's interest. And I'm already blabbling too much. So anyway, Eagles at Redskins, or Redskins at Eagles. I'm sorry. In my opinion, we're gonna come out and our offense is gonna be pretty darn good. I don't feel like we'll be at our peak when we come out. You know, I feel like in that game, all our division games with the Redskins and the Cowboys, for some reason, are always close. Look at the last 2 years. Even the year where Wentz, almost was an MVP and we beat the Redskins twice, both games are close. And I know that, well, at least, yeah, both games are close. Um, and I know that in the first game, like the first drive or two, Carson Wentz did that spin Rooney and threw to Nelson Aguilar down the field and, did all that. Fletcher Cox, man, with the run back fumble. I know you guys remember that. So, I feel like when we come out, we're going to score about 28 points. That's what I feel like. I feel like I feel like our offense is going to average about 33, 34 points. I really feel like we could do that. It's at least going to average 30. And I feel like we're going to come out with a pretty strong showing. And I feel like, I feel like Dwayne Haskins is going to be an adequate quarterback in this league, or a pretty good quarterback in this league. I'll have to see him play. He might be great, but I don't feel like he's no bum or no bust. I feel like he might be better than Rosen, maybe even Kyler Murray, because what's Kyler Murray going to do once he gets hit? I mean, he's a really small guy. Dwayne Haskins is a big guy with pocket awareness, pocket presence, and I think he said he wanted to work on his throwing on the run. I guess that was his only knock coming out. It's just throwing on the run, but I feel like he's an elite quarterback coming out of college. We'll see about the NFL, but I feel like he's going to be decent. He's going to be a force to reckon with. And I feel like, honestly, he's going to be better than Case Keenum, even as a rookie. So, but we'll see. And then the next game is going to be Eagles at Falcons. If you remember, this game was actually interesting with Nick Foles. Remember back in the day when we had Michael Vick for 2-3 years, when we faced the Falcons, it was always like 34-31, really high scoring games because Michael Vick was electric, and people actually started realizing he could throw and pass once he got out of jail and started rehabilitating himself and, doing all that kind of stuff. I feel like he showed the world he could throwing 3 or 4 touchdown passes a game and not just running. My point is, with Nick Foles, it was more of a run game and RPO and take a couple of strikes down the field, and it was a more conservative offense, but effective. And so that's why both games against them on the way to the Super Bowl and then the game opening after the Super Bowl against them, we barely scored 20 points, or 13 points or something like that. It was really low scoring games both games, is what I remember vividly. So I feel like with Carson Wentz, man, it's going to bring a new element. Teams can't really prepare for us like they used to because we really have a year without Carson Wentz. I mean, yeah, he played most of the year last year, but he was out a significant part at the end of the year. And I feel like this year we'll have new plays for him, and people are still used to the Nick Foles team. And we'll be looking at Nick Foles ran Eagles instead of all year Eagles with Carson Wentz. And I feel like he's going to come out and our offense will be more explosive. So I have us winning, or I have us losing that one actually because it's at the Falcons. But I have us scoring 31 points and the Falcons scoring 34 points. But I feel like it'll be a high scoring game and it'll be a close game. We'll lose it, but it'll be a close game. And for the record, I feel like our record will be like 11-5 or something like that. So I'm only going to the bye week. So just because I got a loss in it already, don't fret. I feel like we'll be like 11-5 or something like that. Somewhere around there. Or 11-4, I mean. But anyway, so then that's the second game. The third game is Lions at Eagles. I feel like we're going to win that one. 35-26. It'll be a shootout, and I feel like we'll pull away in the third quarter once we figure out Matthew Stafford a little bit, once our offense heats up, I feel like we'll pull away. at home. I feel like our defense is going to be elite this year. I really do. I feel like we'll have a top 10 defense. Man, I really feel like we could have a top 7 or top 5 defense if all goes according to plan. Uh, I'm really hoping some of these young guys in our secondary. And there's another guy I'm forgetting in our secondary, man. He's another guy in our secondary who played in the Chicago game, who played pretty well. I'm forgetting his name. I'm having a blank right now, so you're going to have to forgive me. But besides LeBlanc, there's another young guy in there that played really well. And y'all leave a a comment in the description box if you guys remember. Anyway, so Lions, Eagles, I feel like the Lions are going to come in our house and take that L 35-26. Eagles at Packers. I feel like that's going to be a high-scoring game. Aaron Rodgers has been down the last couple of years. I don't feel like he's going to have a bad year. I feel like he's going to... He got a new coach, so we'll see. But I feel like this will be a pretty high-scoring game, too. I have us losing by 3, 27-30. Aaron Rodgers is a hell of a quarterback, and so is Carson Wentz, don't get me wrong. It's a road game in Green Bay. That's always a hard place to win. And I feel like our offense will be good enough, but I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is great enough to where he might make the plays that a lot of other quarterbacks can't make on our defense and put up 30 at home for the win. We have the Jets and Eagles. I have us blowing them to hell out of water, man. Jets and Eagles, I have us winning 40-17, and the only reason why I say 17 is because I feel like once we get a big lead, we'll just start running the ball and not. We won't try to just step on their throats like that once we have a huge lead. I feel like all they have really is a running game. They have a young quarterback and a whole lot of new, pieces. I feel like Joe Douglas going over there will make them a contender in a couple of years, but until then, it takes time. Howie Roseman transformed us in only really a year and a half to contention after he got Chip Kelly out of there. So it can be done quickly. I just feel like it'll take a couple years for the Jets to be any good if they are going to be. Eagle at Vikings, having us win 28-30. We know Kirk Cousins, and even though they have better weapons, that's why I think they'll score 30 points against us. The only reason why, because they have great wide receivers, they have a great offense, and they have a great defense. But I still think we'll score more than they will, and that will win that game. Eagles at Cowboys. I feel like we're going to win this game, but it's going to be a more defensive game than anything. I feel like we're going to come out there with a vengeance. Skip Bayless always bringing up the point that we lost twice to these dudes last year, and I feel like we definitely should have won the second game. Whatever game went to overtime where it was a tip pass, and the only reason why is because they got the ball first in overtime. So we had a lot of injuries, so give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry, loud neighbors and whatnot. Anyways, where was I at? Oh yeah, Skip Bayless is always talking about how they beat us twice and whatnot, and I really feel like we're going to come in there with a vengeance, man. Like, Cowboys fans, I welcome you on my channel, and if I'm wrong, come on my channel and comment all you want. But I feel like the Eagles are going to prove why we had a better offseason, man. It's really going to show. Carson Wentz is going to stay healthy, and we're going to have a great offseason, point blank period. And we're going to have a great season. We had a great offseason, sorry. And we're going to have a great season. And Cowboy fans, man, I really would be afraid. Because now we have a running game, which we didn't have last year. And I really feel like Miles Sanders could really get a lot of touches and really be effective come week 4 or 5. I really feel like he could be the second featured back as early as week 3 or 4 or 5. I feel like he has that LaShawn McCoy explosiveness. I'm going to do a video on him and his highlights. I'll have to figure out how to do his highlights. Maybe I could use my roommate's computer or something. But I wanted to be able to do a video and show some highlights of this dude, man, before the season starts, because I'm really excited about him, man. And I want to be one of the first people, along with Philly 500, to really give him that label of he could be elite. Like, I feel like this dude may not be Saquon Barkley, but he's right under that. Like, I feel like he could be Le'Veon Bell with Sean McCoy status. We'll see what his health is, But for a little guy, I mean, he has a little more muscle, I feel like, than LaShawn McCoy. He's a little bit more thicker because he's a little shorter, he's a little stockier. But I feel like he's a little dude with that quickness, like LaShawn McCoy, man. And if he could stay healthy, I feel like he could really be an effective back in this league. And then we got the Eagles at the Bills. I feel like we're going to, I mean, I got us winning 29-14. I just feel like we're going to destroy the Bills. I don't know. Not really much to say about that game. I just really don't see what they have to scare us. And we have a whole bunch to scare them. No disrespect to Bill fans. And I feel like they will be good in a couple years. I feel like. And then this is our bye week. So this is the last one I'm going to do. But this is our bye week. It's going to be the Bears at the Eagles. Now look. I have us winning this game. But we can easily lose this game. Even though Carson Wentz, I feel like, will elevate our offense a little bit. We'll score a little bit more points per game this year. Chicago's for real. I like Trubisky, man. First year, I wasn't sold on him. Second year, man, he won the playoffs, and he did not lose that game for him. Now, we all know that kick was blocked, and we all know Cody Parker used to be on our team. So I feel bad for the guy. You know, getting in your family threatened because you missed a field goal is kind of ridiculous. But I'm a diehard Eagles fan. I would have been pissed too. But there's just some lines you don't cross. Anyway, I feel like we're definitely going to score more points. But I feel like just like we're going to go into Cowboys with a vengeance, they're going to come in to Soldier Field with a vengeance, man. Or they're going to come into our house with a vengeance, man. It's Bears at Eagles. So I feel like they're still going to win. I feel like we can win that or they can win that. I feel like whether they're on the road or at home, they can win that game. And I believe we can win that game. I really believe it can go either way. Because I feel like passion really matters. And they have something to play for. We knock them out. I feel like we'll already have a good record and they'll have something to prove that, hey, we can still hang with these guys or beat these guys, or we just as good, if not better than these guys. And it'll be interesting to find out what happens that game. But that is my last video. Or that is my last team. This is the last video. I'm sorry. I know I didn't want it to be longer than 10 minutes. It ended up being almost 20 minutes. But I just did all those teams. And I just wanted to pretty much let you guys know my personality a little bit. Please subscribe, even if you're not an Eagles fan. And I know that I'll be doing more than just Eagles stuff, but primarily Eagles stuff. Also, I do a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of DC stuff, comic stuff, period, like that. So please subscribe, and I'll be making another video soon, and it'll be a little bit better with a little bit better props. And thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and I'll be making another one soon.